So you know what we're planting today?
What's that?
4 king tuts.
In this small garden?
Yes, sir, we are. So why would we be planting 4 king tuts in a small garden? Have we gone mad?
Not quite entirely. But if you did see our unboxing, you're probably wondering, what are we doing with 4 king tuts in this small garden? Well, we're about to explain that to you a little bit. I think it's a combination of living in a small space and having a small space garden, and having the separation between small space living along with, you know, neighbors who live right next door to you, and having a fence such as this where you can still kind of see through and still kind of, you know, not feel like you have your own privacy to yourself.
Yes. Do we want to go ahead and put something that first is probably going to cost a lot? If it's like, what would you usually put? What would you...
The obvious choice is probably going to be like an arborvitae or maybe a shrub hedge or something of that nature. But since we don't have that luxury to do, we're going to use some king tuts to try to use a kind of a screening type of hedge up here. And these guys grow massive. I know Angie absolutely loved it. We used the Prince Tut before.
Yes, and that's why I told Ambrose, you know what, when we used it for a purpose too at the last
We did.
home. It was anchoring the porch on both sides. But it was a full sun area there. That was the difference there.
Yep.
It was full sun, so it was hitting us so strong, but we used to love to sit there on that porch. So it provided shade for us.
Definitely.
Yeah, but you know, it was very pretty shade, a dapple light coming in through that area, and it would cool it off a whole lot too.
Oh yeah, but it was definitely a great plant. The Prince Tut obviously grew to size, but we're using king tuts today because these guys actually grow 48 to 72 inches tall, and they spread out about 36 inches. So we're going to space them out about 36 inches to kind of create a screening hedge, and it also gives you a sense of division between having your own privacy and having something on the outside where, you know, you want to keep your own space.
Yeah, and also the view. You know, we're creating a garden and we want a certain view. You know, we don't want to have things that are not pretty to our eyes. So we wanted to go ahead and put something that would, I know these guys just poof up from the top. So I'm excited to see that happen here. So the thing is, I am a little scared to plant them in there.
Yes. But I think they're going to do just fine. We created a nice bed space where it's going to be able to grow out to what we wanted to. And that's not the only thing we're putting in there, because we're going to have some more visual interest in there that's absolutely going to look amazing. So we're also going to use a new Bernera from Prune Winners called Jack of Diamonds. This guy grows 14 to 16 inches. It's a part shade to shade plant, which will absolutely do wonderful in this bed back here, because we get just a little bit of sunlight peeking over the fence here for the king tuts to grow up, and these guys get plenty of shade at the bottom. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get to see the flowers this year because we're at the end of spring, but being a perennial, we'll be able to see it next year, and these guys will stay in there. We'll just take the king tuts out and supplement with something else next spring.
So that was one of my questions. What is your favorite part about it, the flowers or the leaves?
I'd have to say possibly the leaves because of the silvery leather texture that it has, and I think at night it'll come to life with some of the moonlight, and it gives you just a nice look to it that I absolutely love.
The leaves were glowing. I remember when we were bringing it out of the box, we opened it at nighttime, was it? At nighttime, and it just looked so pretty, guys. It was like glowing, so yeah.
So we can't have a bed without flowers. What else are we putting in here?
So we went ahead and decided we're going to do Endless Flirtation Rowalia. So this one has a white flowers.
Yep.
And we just need to have some flowers. And
definitely.
That's like the greatest thing to having a shade garden, to be able to have flowers in some other way. And this one is from Planting to Frost. It will flower, so I'm really excited to be able to see back here in the shade garden, especially at night, because it's an area where we're going to sit and enjoy our patio area and enjoy it at night.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And we'll see those little white flowers at night. So I also love to enjoy our garden at nighttime. So that would be cool to see too. So before we start, from all three, I'm always asking him, what is he most excited to grow?
I'm more excited to see the Bernera, I believe.
Okay. I'm excited to see the king tut. I just want to see how big it's going to get for us here in this bed.
Yep.
I think to me it's an experiment more than anything.
Definitely.
With the king tut. Okay, so let's get planting.
Yep.
12 bags of potting soil, exactly what I calculated.
So I'm gonna start with the King Tuts, and I already went ahead and put some biotone just to go ahead and start them off the right way. It's a lot of roots right there. Just mess with them a little bit. See that, guys? They're ready to get planted. That's why I wanted to hurry up already and get them in. So growing Prince Tut back, I'm gonna say it was 2 years ago. It was really fun pulling him out of the container towards the end. I'm gonna say early fall. I think I started changing things for the fall containers that year, and that's why it was one of my concerns. I did want to go ahead and plant these in here, the King Tut, but I did see how big Prince Tut got, and towards the end it started to push out the annuals that we had around it. The thing was that the plants were already going to be brought out, so that was really no worry. The plants didn't suffer through any of the growing season, so it was okay. I'm just excited to see how fast these will grow here because they're so much bigger.
So I think these graneros are gonna look amazing in the bed here, but the thing I like about the Broalia is the fact that you can have flowers in the shade. And I think that's pretty cool that these guys will flower in the shade. And if you haven't seen these flower before, they absolutely look amazing. It's kind of, I wouldn't say like a balloon flower, maybe more of an impatient, a little bit more of a mix of a petunia. So it looks absolutely wonderful, and it's a nice white color that'll actually accentuate with the moonlight here. So I think that's going to be pretty cool having this back here. Now a lot of these plants we did have for a while, but with the weather conditions being the way they have been in the last couple of months, you know, cold nights, then a lot of rain, then, you know, not a lot of warm weather, we were forced to kind of wheel these in and out of the garage, so they didn't get the proper, you know, lighting that they needed throughout the whole you know, last couple months. So unfortunately they're not at their best, but these guys will turn around and look just great once they get planted in here and this gets watered and fed and the sunlight just starts hitting it. It's going to be a nice looking bed here.
So we're done planning up this bed, and one thing we were talking about was the spacing between these King Tuts.
That's my worry.
I know Angie was a little bit worried, but I think we have enough spacing for you guys to grow out. As she talked about earlier was, you know, these guys started pushing out stuff in the containers, but that's something that we don't have to worry about towards the end of the season.
It was towards the end. I'm going to repeat it again. It was fall. I was already going to transition to fall containers.
Yep.
So that really wasn't a big worry. The plants did what they had to do.
Yeah, I mean, the purpose of putting the King Tuts back here again is for some sort of privacy screening to kind of give that division between, you know, neighbors and our yard and having our own area back here. Now, when you see this area again, we're exactly not going to see it this way. It's not going to be a big open area.
We usually have here a bench, a table, 2 chairs, and I am going to put a couple more plants around and layer. So it was really the background of the whole area where we hang out. What did I tell you exactly? The bottom was just like icing
pretty much
on the cake.
Just something we want to do back here. And again, there's a few things we're going to add to it later. Again, we're waiting for some plants to come in so we can fill in the way we want the bed to absolutely look.
I'm excited for those.
And it's finished. Now, here's a question for you guys. If you can guess what we're putting back there, we know what we're putting back there, but what do you think would go back in this bed, especially being a shadier area at the bottom?
Or better yet, what would you put in there with these guys?
Yeah.
I always love to hear everybody what y'all guys have to say. What other, combinations of plants would you put in in something?
And that's the beauty about gardening, is doing the research and learning and trying to experience what works with what, and what you can actually put in a shady area, and what you can put in a part sun area, and what you can put in a sunny area. So it's something we absolutely enjoy, is experimenting in the garden.
And we have a lot to experiment in this garden because, like Ambrose had explained in the beginning, there is a lot of different lighting here. You mentioned the light creeps over from the fence. There is sunlight, and then the bottom is shaded. But it does get it gets bright light. So everybody's happy. We just have to find the perfect plants for every spot.
Yep.
For one spot. So that's there's a lot going on for one spot. So that was a lot of fun.
So we're pretty confident this is going to work. Let us know what you guys think, but that's going to do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed what we planted here today, because we definitely can't wait for the next couple months to see what this looks like.
My whole thing is a king tuts, guys. I just want to see how fast these things grow for us, because I know the Prince Tut put a lot of growth.
Yep. All right, guys.
Garden.
So that's going to do it. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye, guys.